The effects of waist trainers are skin irritation, acid reflux, breathing, bruising, numbness, psychological toll, compressed lungs, fractured ribs, and crushed organs, and passing out. People use these to modify your waist into an hourglass shape with semi-permanent results, using a steel bone corset that also acts as an external lap band, not allowing you to eat large quantities while wearing the corset. In the 16th century, French bodies was a term used for the stiffened undergarment. These corsets originated in France and have existed for at least 500 years. Some men wore corsets in the 18th and 19th centuries, especially in the late 1700s and the early 1800s. Fashion for men demanded form-fitting trousers or jackets. Some men wore corsets to create the required smooth silhouette. By the mid-1800s, men who still wore corsets had been laughed at. Women wore special maternity corsets while pregnant. Women who wore corsets since childhood have weaker abdominal muscles and have benefited from support, but maternity corsets were designed to mask and minimize the size of a pregnant body. The definition of a scar is a mark on the body after surface injury heals. In the 1980s, scarification became really popular in the US and Canada. It involves branding, burning the skin, usually with hot metal, or cutting the skin. Scars can be flat on the skin or form keloids. Keloids are excessive growth of fibrous tissue that makes the scar rise above the surface. People have done scarification for thousands of years. Indigenous people of New Zealand and Australia started with the Maori men of New Zealand covered their faces with tattoos that were carvings and called ink rubbings today. They used bone chisel similar to wood carvings, and ink is placed into the cuts to make a tattoo. In Papua New Guinea, they initiated girls at puberty with markings on the abdomen. After a woman has had her first child, markings are made on the back, neck, buttocks, arms, and legs. For men, they made scale marks on their body for manhood. They do scales as marks of the ancestral crocodile as a mark of power, spirit, and protection. These men are called the crocodile men of the East Septile. Scarification originated in tribes in Africa, Nigeria, Zaire, Benin, and southern Amazon basin. Tongue bifurcation, splitting, or forking is a type of body modification in which the tongue is cut centrally from its tip to as far back as the underside base, forking the end. The first documented procedure was performed in Italy in 1994. When Dustin Aller and Eric Sprang, also known as the Lizard Man, had the procedure done, it began to draw attention. The Lizard Man's surgeon used an argon laser to split the tongue in Albany, New York. The long-term effects on tongue splitting are more than serious. You may experience a numb tongue, a sign of nerve damage. The injured nerve may affect your sense of taste or how you move your mouth. If exposed to bacteria, there is a high risk of infection. Other side effects could be increased saliva flow, loss of taste, difficulty speaking, and smelling.